Hurricane Idalia, as we've mentioned, has strengthened to an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane as it moved towards the United States southeast coast. Well, Idalia is nearing landfall in Florida's Big Bend region, bringing a storm surge that could reach up to 15 feet, around 4.5 meters, and destructive, life-threatening winds. Well, thousands of people have fled their homes already as evacuation orders are in force in more than 20 counties in the state. In a briefing in the last half hour, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said 54,000 houses in the state are without power. He added the surge will reach up to 16 feet in some areas of that Big Bend region, making it life-threatening.
This thing is hitting really within the next hour and a half, most likely. It's going to make landfall. It is a major hurricane, as we've been saying it was likely to be for the last couple days, and we just hope everybody stays safe. Don't put your life at risk by doing anything dumb at this point. This thing's powerful. If you're inside, just hunker down until it gets past you. You don't want to be messing around with these winds. There's going to be things flying all over the place. Obviously, if you're in a place that's close to the coast and you see that surge, that's going to be legitimate surge. It's going to be a big deal, and it's going to be very dangerous. And there we go with our power here. We're back.
That was Florida Governor Ron DeSantis there. Well, BBC meteorologist Thomas Schaffenacker has the very latest now on what path the storm is going to take.
Hurricane Idalia is a serious storm for Florida and the southeast of the United States. Landfall will have occurred around Florida's Big Bend, so that part of the coastline that curves around the Gulf of Mexico into the Panhandle. Destructive winds, that storm surge, and indeed other states will be affected by this storm. In fact, there are two storms, one out in the Atlantic, but we're watching Idalia here as it approaches the coastline. Torrential rain, destructive winds occurring on the coastline itself, but then the flooding rains and the risk of tornadoes will transfer across more northern parts of Florida into Georgia and into the Carolinas. And at this stage, this storm will still be strong, possibly even maintaining hurricane strength as it nears that coastline on the Atlantic side. So serious weather there in the US.
Serious weather indeed. Thanks so much to Thomas. Well, let's take you back to live pictures of the area. I think these are pictures of Clearwater Beach. They're not great pictures, but you'd expect that, wouldn't you? Because it's extremely windy and wet and the camera is not going to be perfect. What we're seeing there are trees swinging from side to side as the winds begin to pick up. Now, Hurricane Idalia is expected to affect lots of Florida's counties. I think about 28 of the 67 counties are under some form of evacuation. That is Tampa in Florida. Look at how close the seawater is to the road, where cars are actually still driving up and down. Now, Idalia is forecast to make landfall at the state's northern panhandle on Wednesday morning local time. In the last minute or so, we have a latest update, which is coming to us here at the BBC, that the winds have slightly eased to 125 miles per hour, which means Hurricane Idalia is now classed back as a Category 3 hurricane, and that's according to the National Hurricane Center. The hurricane has been a Category 4 hurricane for the past few hours, with those potentially catastrophic storm surges and destructive winds, which are still expected. So, you know, the winds have eased very slightly, but we don't know what's going to happen in the coming hours. So everyone who is out there and watching this, of course, please do take care.